Welcome to Big Blend Radio's Vacation Station Travel and Leisure Show. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're so excited to have Kristy Tolley back on the show. We met her when we did a 23 best things to do in Asheville, North Carolina on our Adventures in Asheville podcast that we do every first Tuesday. New episodes air with our friends Steve and Karen Wilson. We call them Mr. and Mrs. Wild. They own the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast in the Montfort Historic District in Asheville. And Karen and Steve said, well, you got to get Kristy on the show because she's written 101, I was going to think 101 Dalmatians. I don't know where my mind went, but 100 things to do in Asheville before you die. You don't need to get a Dalmatian, but it is a dog-friendly city, right? Welcome back, Kristy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me back, Lisa. This is great.
Let's have some Dalmatians run around. But
Right.
yeah, I think they need to add that one. Did you feel that writing the new book, which is why you're joining us, 100 Things to Do in North Carolina, the whole state, before you die? So did you want to add a one to that, like make it 101 at all when you were putting this together?
Are you kidding? I could have made it 10,001.
No.
It's so hard. One thing I did with my Asheville book too, there's always going to be some places that I wasn't able to add or something that came about after it published or whatever. And so what I did, and I plan to do that with the North Carolina book as well, I created almost like an insert page of like 10 more things. And whenever somebody bought a book at a book signing, I'd slip it in and say, hey, you've got a few more things in there. But yeah, it's quite a challenge. I mean, there's so many amazing places to see and restaurants to sample and things like that. And I did cheat a little bit because with some entries, instead of just one thing, I would focus on a group of things. So I did kind of, wiggle my way through that a little bit. But I wanted everybody to do all the things, right?
And no, and then you created itineraries at the back of the book. I mean, I love the different chapters, food and drink, music and entertainment, sport and recreation, all these different things, right? And then at the end, you do have itineraries and you talk about the seasons. And, we're getting into fall. And at this point, we're heading up to a year since Hurricane Helene happened. And we've done all kinds of shows and, that. And actually right after, even when Steve and Karen didn't have power or they were walking in the visitor bureau to contact us. And we did I think it was like 3-part benefit event to raise awareness and all of that. And had people from around the world call in, and musicians and poets and writers do readings. I mean, it was just like this cool event. It was also just a way for everyone in the area, because it wasn't just Asheville. It was such a widespread hurricane that took everybody by surprise, and wanted them to know that even if you can't hear it right now, we're thinking of you. So how was it putting this together? Because you're obviously connected, not just to Asheville, but North Carolina. I mean, I think even putting this out right now is so good for the state and for people to know, to come back and experience these things and what's still there. Was it hard to kind of like, oh, I had this in mind, now is it still there? What's going on?
Exactly. That was such a challenge for me because at the time, I had pretty much written a good chunk of the book, by the time Helene rolled through. When I was writing the preface in like early last year, things were still not open. And I was like, I didn't want to take anything out because I was optimistic. I was like, this is, it's going to be fine. It's going to take time, but I was hopeful, and I knew that these places were so important for people to see. So I did add that to the beginnings, and there were a few things entries that I had in there that I was like, hey, just check, a little disclaimer, make sure you call and make sure, because places like, there are still, national and state parks that are reopened. Chimney Rock finally opened in June. But then you've got other places that are technically open, but a lot of the trails are still closed. So if you're wanting to hike, you want to make sure to check things out. And then like Mount Mitchell is still closed. So just things like that is, it's like you want to include everything because you don't want to leave anybody out. But yeah, you just need to make sure. And obviously, these small towns that were so affected need our business. They need our tourism dollars. So go and enjoy those fantastic meals in these amazing restaurants and buy the local art and visit with the community and really just experience it and just see for yourself how resilient and amazing the people who call North Carolina home really are.
Yeah, I agree. It's important to keep supporting because recovery is a long road. The hurricane itself was scary, tragic, deadly for all the
Mhm.
states involved, including North Carolina, obviously. And some businesses did close. You know, it was hard, especially I think after COVID. Some people are just now getting back on their feet. We've had,
Mhm.
political things happen on our country that have also that affects tourism, no matter how we look at it, no matter who's in power at the
Yeah,
time. The other side's not happy and it kind of, makes things a little, sludgier. Let's put it that
right.
way. And so I think what's really important is to show support no matter what we can do. Even purchasing a book and maybe go get that cup of coffee, go get that beer and stay on top of it because it's the holidays coming and this anniversary of this hurricane, it's like don't be scared because, things like this happen. I don't know. And Nancy and I travel the country full time, you know,
Mhm.
this year. I mean, we've gone through ice storms, blizzards, snowstorms, avalanche warnings. We've been
Yeah.
through tornadoes this year. I cannot even tell you. Last year we went through 4
Oh
hurricanes,
my goodness. Tornado would be
and then this
terrifying.
year wildfires, or been in the
Mhm.
vicinity of, and the reality is things happen
Mhm.
everywhere in the
Right.
world. And so the most important thing is, if anything, it's a calling to get your butts out there and do stuff and enjoy
Exactly.
it and support. And in the holiday season coming and the fall season in North Carolina
Oh.
is insanely gorgeous. I don't care where you are in North Carolina, the coast to the mountains,
Mhm.
the Blue Ridge Parkway is incredibly gorgeous. So it's time to get out, support these businesses and do your holiday shopping and go for a good vacation. The best time to do holiday shopping is on a vacation and not that Black Friday craziness. So I think your book
100%, yeah.
helps, right? Don't you think?
Oh, I hope, and I have a shopping section too. So,
Yes, you
I'm like,
do.
yes, I'm a full on believer in shopping throughout the year too. So I'm always on the market for like, looking for Christmas stuff in May. I'm like, I see something and I'm like, and when you buy something from a local artist or, a local bookstore or something like that, it's special because it's not, something that, you're
Yes,
throwing your
yes.
dollars at a bazillionaire. You're supporting a local economy and it
Mm.
makes a huge difference, I think. And I think it's special too.
Well, I think you should be super proud of this book, as your other one too. But I just think I'm thrilled that we can do this. Now, let's start off seasons, okay?
Yes.
Because we're in the fall. So what would be some recommendations for fall? Obviously, leaf peeping, right?
Oh,
And
100%. Yes. Do the leaf peeping. I mean, you can't go wrong anywhere really in Western North Carolina. You're going to find some amazing fall foliage and getting outside and hiking and everything. And I'm a spooky girl. I'm a sucker for a good ghost tour. So I'm like, go to get a ghost tour in whatever town you want. They have them in so many different places. You've got them in Wilmington. You've got them in, Beaufort. You've got them Raleigh. Asheville's got some. I mean, it's just all over the place. And, you get that taste of local history with a little hint of, the macabre. So I'm
mm,
a sucker for that for a fall event. And then you've got, the state fair is in North Carolina in the fall as well. So that's always something to check out.
ooh.
And yeah,
But the state fair, where does that happen? Because
that
that's
yeah,
and
yeah.
we want the food. Funnel
Absolutely.
cake.
Yeah, it's
Forget
in
what your doctor
Raleigh.
says. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's in
the
Raleigh?
it's in the North Carolina State Fair. It's in October, and so you can eat all the fried food you want. That you've got your 4-H booths, you've got exhibits, that talk about the innovations of farming and technology, but, you've got all the carnival games, rides, it's just the wafting smell of, like, fair food. I mean, it's just I can almost
Mhm.
smell that funnel cake just talking about it.
Oh my gosh, I know, right? The other thing too that I love this, and oh my gosh, the food and drink section is insane. Okay, like Krispy Kreme, y'all. Like we can't forget
Oh my
Krispy
gosh.
Kreme
I know,
and
my salivary
donuts.
glands were practically exploding when I was writing that, and I mean, yeah, because like Krispy Kreme, that's just iconic, North Carolina, but then, that was one of those things that I didn't wanna short anybody, I wanted all the donut places to be represented, so I made sure to add that little section across from the Krispy Kreme with, to go get your donuts at these other places as well. But yeah, I mean, a hot, fresh Krispy Kreme donut is just like nirvana. I mean, it's like the
Oh, it
best.
is. You know what's so funny? As we travel, definitely we always advocate for lodging that is unique, right? And of course, brand hotels are important too. So, everything is always important. Bed and breakfast. Yes, Stephen Karen will hit me over
Yeah.
that. But really, I know North Carolina has amazing bed and breakfast. And we've stayed at quite a few, but we pet sit as we travel too. And that's how we're doing your show now with you, is being able to have internet and kitchen and everything. And we did a pet sit in Raleigh. And listen, I think the whole of North Carolina is like pet friendly. Like,
Oh, I believe that too. Yeah.
I think you could do a whole, like 100 things to do with your pets in North Carolina. I think
Mm.
so. Well, I think Reedy Press should look at that.
Oh,
We haven't seen
thanks.
pet friendly books. I don't know. I'm just pitching it
Oh,
now.
girl, that is a great idea.
Yeah. See, that leads to sports and recreation pitching. So anyway,
Yeah.
but we did the sit in Raleigh, and the husband, who is a retired state judge, actually, it was very cool. He goes, "Well, girls, I'm making breakfast in the morning." Oh, we're like, "Oh, what's going on?" He goes, "Because we were there the night before, so we could acclimate with the dogs and the routines." He goes, "So you have to have a North Carolina specialty. I have a meeting in the morning, and I'm not really making it; I'm picking it up." And very good North Carolina accent that I can't duplicate. But he came in with this giant box of Krispy Kremes. And he
Nice.
goes, "I expect these to be done." And this was only a weekend sit. By the time we get there, well, actually, we did it. And everyone taking a look at my waist now, like it's still there, expanded a little. But that's how we found out about Krispy Kremes. He's like, "You cannot come to Raleigh or North Carolina without
Mhm.
having a Krispy Kreme." He was very adamant about it. So, are they from Raleigh too? Is that also a thing? I don't know,
Yeah, the
but I
Krispy
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme, yeah. It was the started by a gentleman, he was, Vernon Rudolph was his name, and he got the recipe from this New Orleans chef, and you said Raleigh, I heard Winston-Salem. It was actually in Winston-Salem, sorry.
Okay.
And so he
So
set up
close.
shop. Yeah. He set up shop and he was selling these baked goods originally to just like local grocery stores. And people were just like coming up to the store just off the street and they're like, "Hey, I want a donut." So that's what he did. He like punched a hole in the wall and created a walk up counter for people just to get their hot, fresh donuts just off the
Wow.
street.
Oh
Yeah.
my. And the food and drink section, that had to be hard because thinking Asheville's got, it's Beer City, USA. We've got
Yeah.
the Krispy Kreme donuts and then
Mhm.
barbecue. I have friends in Durham, excuse me, not Durham. Has nothing to do with ham except for it's there. Pork,
Yeah.
pork abounds in North Carolina. But they went for the barbecue, and apparently this is like the dry rub versus like the barbecue is a big deal. And you cover that. But what I didn't know is that there's a cheese trail, a Surrey Sonker trail. You're gonna have to
Very
explain this.
song. Oh my gosh, yeah. I actually did an article about that when I was working as the editor at AAA, and I followed the soccer trail, and gosh, I was so full, like, every minute of every day, but it was so delicious. It's almost like a sort of like a cobbler situation, but they make it so many different places and so many different ways, but it's so delicious. If you ever get a chance to do the Soccer Trail or order it somewhere, typically in Surrey County, then you absolutely should. One of my favorite places is in Mount Airy. It's Miss Angel's Baked Goods. I've messed up the title. It's Miss Angel's. It's there. She's got cakes and pies and she has some soccer there too. Such a
Hmm.
great place. Yeah. 100.
Surrey Sonker Trail, a West North Carolina cheese trail, an oyster trail. Brew and
No.
Q Trail and International Food Trail in Jacksonville. So like basically you're going to eat well. You could just do 100 places to eat, drink, and be merry in North
Oh,
Carolina.
100%. Yeah. That was just a small sampling of the food trails. Like, they have, and, not with food, but like there's a distillery trail too in North Carolina. There's a distillery trail website.
Oh my God, you got
Um,
wineries too. What am
yeah,
I thinking?
wineries. I mean, there's so many ways you can explore the state through your
Mm.
stomach.
Well, what would you do? Okay, so we touched on fall, and we know that North Carolina has good agriculture. So there's that. So I'm sure you'll find pumpkin patches and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But for the winter holiday season, in
Mhm.
winter, any places that would come to mind for like food? Do you have any? Well, there's distilleries. Like we can touch on that. That's always good. But baked goods, I'm thinking these Moravian, excuse me, I'm not even saying it right. Cookies. I said distilleries and I already got drunk.
Yeah, I 100%. Yeah, I was gonna say Old Salem for sure because, you've got the reason I love Mrs. Haynes so much, is you can actually go in there and you can watch them make it. And it's the only place where they hand do everything. So they're still going with the traditional way of baking these Moravian cookies. Have you had a
Mm.
Moravian cookie yet?
No, but I want one.
Oh my gosh, they're, like, so, like, paper thin and just crispy and delicious, like, it's
That's an
all I
art
can
form.
do. My gosh, it's amazing, yeah, they are so delicious, and you can go to Mrs. Haynes and watch them make them, or, if you're in Old Salem and you're walking around, there's the Winkler Bakery there, so that's located in historic Old Salem, so you can go in there and you can buy your sugar cakes, all kinds of breads and Moravian cookies and whatnot. So yeah, you will not, if you go hungry in Winston-Salem or Old Salem, then that's on you because there are so many great places to eat.
Well,
Mhm.
I think I always look at bakeries for the holiday season of those,
Mm,
sugar cookies and all that kind of
yeah.
stuff, right? And then coffees. And I know you got good coffee places in the book. Cannot give away what's going on in the book. You got to get it, y'all. It's out
Yeah.
now, right? Everyone can get it. Go to
Yes.
bookstores.
Yes.
What's your website for everyone to be able to follow you? And, is there a place so people know when you're doing book signings and stuff?
Yeah, I'm mostly active on Facebook. I do have a website, KristyTolley.com, but it's been kind of stagnant for a little bit.
She's
But
been
yeah.
writing and publishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Facebook, Kristy,
Okay.
and I use my hyphenated maiden and married name. It's Kristy Stratton hyphen Tolley. So, and then I'm on Instagram just at Kristy Tolley. I post a lot on Instagram,
Oh, okay. That
including
sounds like
the
a good
upcoming
place.
dates of book signings and stuff.
So your name sounds like you should have your own town. I'm just saying, with a bakery and a brewery.
Oh, that would be a dream, and then a wine shop. I would have to have a
Yeah, we
bookshop,
need wine.
like
We
yeah,
always need wine. We always
100%.
need wine.
Yes.
Yeah, and then cheese. I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know. We're just gonna have a foodville. But okay, so that's a little taste of winter. Any other ideas? Because I love the way you put itineraries at the back too. Because
mhm.
like foodie, you did it by foodies, by history buffs. All these. So I kind of feel like even the seasons, the way you put that together. But for winter, anything that comes to mind for people to experience?
Yeah, I mean, you can't go through the holidays without experiencing Biltmore Estate. I mean, it's
I
a
knew you were going to
magical
say it.
I mean,
I knew it.
I kinda have to, it's in my contract. No, I'm just teasing, but I mean, it really, really is a beautiful place, and also
And they
while
have
you're in
wine. Right.
Yes,
They have wine.
yeah, they
Very
do,
important.
yes, and then while you're in Asheville, you can hit the Omni Grove Park Inn, which is such a stunning I just love that place so much, and they have the gingerbread house competition there,
Mm.
and then, of course, in different area like, not far from Charlotte, you have McAdenville, which is like the, Christmas Town, USA, and they have, like, a bazillion lights and displays, and it's just if you really wanna get the holiday spirit, that is drive through McAdenville. Yeah, it's really gorgeous.
Now, what about the coastal area? Is that always summer or spring? Like if you look at those seasons, I'm weird. I like coastal cities in winter because when they put the lights on, it's just different.
I
I don't know if they do
know.
like boat parades and things like that in
Yeah, I
winter.
think some places do the flotillas, which are
Mm.
really gorgeous. Like they do I wanna say, is it Southport? I can't remember, but I
Yeah, yeah.
know a lot of places will do that flotilla where all the boats will have the lights and, it's just a big celebration.
Mm,
Yeah.
c
I probably now that I'm thinking through, I probably should have created another section called activities by region, and
Oh,
that
boy.
and
See, she's
yeah.
writing another book.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that'll be my another insert for
Well,
the
hey, listen. Hey, wait. Hey, hey, hey now. Reedy Press. I'm just saying, I'm throwing another pitch out there because I know you all like baseball in, North Carolina. I know that there's, activity. And my other pitch is that they have secret books. Like,
Oh, right, right.
and we
Mhm.
just did an interview on Secret Birmingham, Alabama. There's
That's
Secret this,
right.
Secret
Mhm,
Michigan. So I'm thinking Secret North Carolina, like really hidden treasures that people
mhm.
don't know about. Like that could be something fun.
That's yeah,
I'm just saying,
like,
you know.
taking all these copious notes.
No, I know. I'm going to get a call later going, what did you just do? Well, because there's so much. It is such an amazing state. So
Yeah.
spring, where would you say is like what? Because the agriculture and the flowers come out in the
Mhm.
spring. Like, the Biltmore, I know like North Carolina Arboretum is one of our personal favorites.
Mhm.
Spring, glorious
Yeah.
spring.
But all the botanical gardens, and I mean, I could, barely touch the surface of that. But yeah, you've got I've got Stowe outside Charlotte. It's in Belmont. And of course, you've got the North Carolina Arboretum, as you mentioned, in Asheville. And then there at the North Carolina Botanical Garden and at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill has a really impressive collection of like carnivorous plants. And it's got
Oh,
like a lot
really?
native, yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's got a
Pitcher
lot of
plants? Do they have pitcher plants?
yeah,
Like one?
plants and like the little, like, I
Oh, that
love
Venus flytrap.
yeah, Venus flytrap, thank you. I was like, I couldn't think of the
Hey,
name.
I can tell you drink wine, so we're on the same plane. It's all good.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, but
cool.
there's so
Oh,
much spring stuff to do, and, that's a great time, going back I mean, I'm really not alcoholic, but I'm going back to the distilleries and the wineries and the breweries. I feel like spring is like the optimum time to, because it's not too hot yet, just need a break from the
brunch,
snow.
brunch
Yeah, I love being
season.
outside.
And flowers are out and like
Mhm.
even the Arboretum, we had wine at the end of our hiking and flower, they have that beautiful quilt garden. At the end of the day,
Mhm.
we're like wine and hummus. I think we were having like some kind of appetite. And we were just like, this is the coolest thing. It was so
So
beautiful
fun.
outside and the whole state is gorgeous. And then I would say summer, the beach area too, and then Blue Ridge Parkway. We
Yeah,
cannot leave that out. And
100%, yeah.
oh
Hike the
my
mountains,
gosh.
hit the beaches, go waterfall hunting, like, do Land of the Waterfalls, look for all those different places to yeah, to cool off, and then, and Carowinds, in outside Charlotte is a great place too for the summer. It gets really busy if you're an amusement park.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's amusement parks are always fun. And
Yeah.
then you get beer afterwards. If
Yeah.
you're, well, I
Yeah.
always think beer cures everything. But so we got 4 seasons going on. So we've done food and drink very well. So I'm going to move on because music entertainment, especially when you think about the seasons, music and entertainment get us through every season. It gets us through the bitter cold. And by the way, one of my favorite things in North Carolina, go like on the Blue Ridge Parkway, like there's a certain time before they close it down because of the winter is the giant icicles you'll see on the Blue
Oh,
Ridge
that's
Parkway when you
right.
drive. Dude, I just want to bring that up. But let's talk about the music and entertainment because there's a lot of famous musicians that come out of North Carolina.
Mhm.
Nina Simone, Warren Haynes. I always have to bring up Warren Haynes. I think it's Joan Armored Training as well. Just a lot. And oh boy, oh no, Luke Combs out of
Oh.
Charlotte. So a lot of good music from your state, but
Mhm.
what are some of your highlights that people should know? I just love North Carolina now. We're in Oregon right now, and I love Oregon, but now I'm feeling like I feel like I need to go home.
Coming to yeah, exactly. I think a good start if you're in the Charlotte area is to head to Kannapolis and hit the Music Hall of Fame because, it's got all kinds of, just a robust variety of exhibits. I think they have like Roberta Flack's piano. There's a James Taylor's
Oh, wow.
guitars there. Randy Travis has I think he's got a hat or maybe boots there. But yeah, I mean, you're right in saying that the music history of North Carolina is very, impressive and notable and worth checking out. And then also, if you head to, Cleveland County,
Mhm.
right, it's in the heart of Shelby, North Carolina. Earl Scruggs Center, for if you're a
Oh,
bluegrass, fan, that, celebrates his life and his legacy because he, ultimately revolutionized bluegrass music,
yeah.
with his style of playing the banjo. And let's see,
Wow.
where else?
And the arts, I wanted to bring up theater too, because that's another big deal is theater for
Mhm.
people to know, to just go and I mean, there's so much. I'm like
Right.
looking at
I
your
mean,
list here and
yeah, you
festivals too.
exactly. You've got the Lost Colony, that, was, it was I think it started in 1937, and that was, it kinda tells the story of England's first attempt at, coming here and permanently settling in the New World, so that kinda tells that story, and also at the beginning, if you get there early, and I think you need an extra ticket for it, but the indigenous cast members of the Lost Colony, they perform and they share, like, dances and songs that celebrate Native American culture and history. So,
That's huge.
yeah, so if you are going, to that show, make sure you plan to go there early and get a seat for that.
I wanted to touch on Asheville because the Riverside Arts District. Is it Riverside or Riverfront? Why did my brain went numb there?
The River
Um,
Arts District,
Yeah,
yeah.
the River Arts District was really like one of the
Oh,
most impacted areas, but it seems like they've really come together and worked
mhm,
together to bring things together and still have artists being able to show. And there's, just it's not all gone in that way because everyone's spirit of working together as a community has been
mhm,
incredible. So art is still happening and there's still places open and some have gone different places. Don't give up hope is my
mm,
point because the
right,
artists
yes.
have not, right? And that leads me to Lake Lure. I wanted to bring that up because Chimney Rock State Park, like you're saying, is open, which is in
Mhm,
Lake Lure. The Flowering Bridge, which was like one of the most amazing
mm,
things. Unfortunately, the bridge is being taken down, the historic bridge, because you can't drive on it. And they've managed to save parts of it. And a garden it's not the end, right? So Lake Lure, I mean, there's still things you can do, but and you were saying there's a pottery place there that's still cool going.
great. Yeah, I follow them on Instagram and they posted, I think it was today or yesterday, this video montage of Hurricane Helene and what had happened and the flooding. And then they were explaining that, how the resilient nature and how strong the community is. And they've made these mugs that are examples of that kind of journey that they've had over the past year that incorporate the tragedy and the
Mm.
devastation, but also the beauty of community and the strength. I mean, they're beautiful, beautiful mugs. Yeah, it's Lake Lure. Lake Lure.
One thing also, isn't that a famous movie location that you talk about?
Yeah, that's where they filmed Dirty Dancing.
Mm.
You can't put baby in the corner when you go to Lake Lure for sure.
So that there's a lot of history there. So everyone again,
Hmm.
go get the book.
Yeah.
You have so much, like you do need to do the secret book. Pitching again. I'm pitching again.
Thank you.
I'm just
Maybe I'll
saying,
hire you as my manager.
just go out there and get it done. But now sports and recreation. Okay, this is huge for North Carolina because I
Right.
just even think about going from the coast to inland. Then you
Mhm.
got the mountains, you got the Appalachian Trail, you got, waterways. How did you even, this is as bad as the food and drink.
Oh my gosh, it was so challenging, like, to pare back and pick out things and not be able to add things, so, yeah, that was another way I cheated too. It's like, okay, skiing, we're gonna list all of the, places to ski, we're gonna talk about the different places you can go glamping in the mountains and you've got the activities that sort of could fall under history and culture, or, you've got the Highland Games in Grandfather Mountain, so that's like a huge event too. I mean, men in kilts, with performing feats of strength. I mean,
We
sign me
all
up.
have a good man in a kilt, especially when
Yeah,
he twirls around. I'm just saying you never
exactly.
know what's under the sporin.
Right.
Anyway, oopsie, did I say that? The thing I wanted to bring up too is that you bring up like road trip along the Blue Ridge Parkway, which you can do, and a lot is opened up now. So everybody, it's going to be so cool to
Yeah.
for leaf peeping this year, and then going
Mhm.
into spring, summer when because it does close during the real temperatures happen of winter, and there's Smoky Mountain National Park, but when you put in there that road trip along the Blue Ridge Parkway, I was just thinking like, how cool is this book to use, for families and whether you live in North Carolina or neighboring states, if people are
Mhm.
like staying close to home for time or whatever. What an excellent road trip book.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Do you think that, were you thinking that when you were putting it together, like how people could kind of check it off and I think that if you live in a state, it's up to you to travel and get to know your backyard because we're so
Yeah.
bad as human beings to take our backyards for granted. And only
100%.
when people come in from out of town do we go, oh crap, we haven't been there since I was in high school.
Right? Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I love a good road trip. So that was definitely in the back of my mind when I was going through all of these. And actually there was one year, a few years ago, it was pre-COVID. My husband and I were planning on, and we had a spreadsheet and everything. We were going to do the Blue Ridge Parkway all the way, like from the beginning to the end. And we were going to, drive and then stay in these little towns along the way. And we just never got to do it. So I still have that spreadsheet, so I am gonna do that at some point.
Hey, everybody, this is another book that needs to be happening. But yeah, like you're saying, there's all this hiking too, like the Appalachian
Mhm.
Trail. Isn't there a North Carolina hiking trail that goes across the state from coast to mountain or something?
Yes, the Mountain to Coast Trail, and that actually is on my there's so many things I wanna
Oh,
do.
that's another thing
That's
she
on
has to
my
do
list.
because zip lining, you've got pinball museum. I love that. But the wild horses, this is, we're used to the Southwest with wild horses, and you've got flight history in North Carolina. Come on, this, you're connected to Ohio with this flight
I
history.
know. Yeah, and from my understanding from people talk to from Ohio, some people have issue with us saying first in flight because they're like, well, the Wright brothers were from Ohio, which they were, and they did a lot of their stuff there, but the actual flight literally took place in North Carolina. So I feel like we can claim that. I feel that that's a legitimate claim. So yeah, I mean, there's just so much history to
Mm.
not discover, it's already been discovered, but, like, for your personal discovery,
Experience.
yeah, to experience and explore for sure.
Yeah, I love that about the state too, and by the way, I love that you have photos in here. You have, you got donuts in the photos. I'm just saying, there's donuts, there's flowers, there's art, there's good cars, Chimney Rock is in there. But I'm just going through the book and it's really cool. Everybody, you need to get it. Don't be alone. But you did bring one of my favorite. Okay, there's culture and history. We haven't even touched it yet, but we are already talking about it. But NASCAR, because
Mhm,
this is like, I love to tell people like moonshine history and NASCAR go hand in hand in North Carolina. You cannot talk about moonshine history, distilleries,
mhm,
bourbon, any of it without talking about North Carolina because this
mhm.
was the state that did it. There's none
Yeah.
of like transportation through mud, doesn't matter. Like we have a post office, but these people did it. No matter what was going on.
Yeah, they were trying to escape the law, so they were kinda hell-bent on getting out of there, and it is so funny how it just transitions into, well, people are gonna pay money to watch these people race, right?
Mm.
So, it's just so interesting to me to see the birth of something that is so wildly popular. It's like, it's a global sport, like, people are I don't know, it's incredible.
Also, the Underground Railroad Museum, that going into the history, I did not know about this, and I did not know North Carolina was part of that. Duh. Sorry. But,
Oh, I learned a lot researching and,
listen, like, this is why
yeah.
we need people like Kristy in our world to bring this to us. So this is at the Washington Waterfront Underground Railroad Museum, everyone. And I didn't know you had a Washington in North Carolina.
Right. it
where am I? Like, I need to do another road trip, obviously.
come on back.
We are. We'll be there soon. But yeah, where is Washington?
Washington is, let me find I'm like,
Look
uh,
at the map. Get that
yeah,
globe
I
out.
know. It's like the Beaufort area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So little south of Durham area. Or am I messed up? I'm messed up. Just everyone just Google. This is why we have Google. But the Underground Railroad,
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
even,
considered
it
Beaufort.
is,
Yeah.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
coastal.
It's like where the Pimlico River,
Hmm.
it's on the eastern coastal region. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was right there. Okay. But don't ever take directions from me. Ever. Because what I think is just around the corner may take you to another state. The other thing is the Atlantic Museum. This is something I really want to go because this is like the shipwrecks. And we've done interviews on ships and privateers and all kinds of stuff that went down on the coastal area.
Yeah. That, I mean, following the pirate stories and the retracing Blackbeard's footsteps and, going to the museum. I mean, it's all just like, if you're into pirates, the pirate lore, North Carolina is your place to be for sure.
I can't stand how much is in here. You still were like, you had to watch how much you did. You were limited, but you really did put a lot in there. Like,
Did my
here's,
best. And I was so bad because we were given an estimated word count, for each entry, because they have to have room for, you know, everything around it. And if you want to add a tip or, a little known fact or something like that. And I'm notoriously bad about writing too much.
mm,
And I
I
really didn't
understand.
pay attention. And so when I submitted the manuscript, the book the first time, they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to cut a lot." So I had to go back and, like, pretty much chop some things in half, and, but we did it. I did it, and I got it in there, so, yeah. I prepared what I could, and I wanted to explain as much as I could so people could really get a feel for what they were gonna experience.
I want to go to the pop culture part because I did not know Ava Gardner is from North Carolina.
I know, right? Wasn't she I
The
just loved
Night
her.
of the Iguana
Yeah,
showboat.
she was so stunning. Yeah. And I mean, that's just such a cool place. But yeah, like she's one of the shining stars, I guess, of North Carolina.
Well, she's got her own museum, so that's cool.
Mhm.
And other people like Andy Griffith's show, I did not
Mhm.
know. Like, really?
Yeah. Yeah, Mount Airy is and I'm actually gonna be in Mount Airy Saturday for a book signing, but yeah, it's, that's the town that inspired Mayberry, that, Andy Griffith is from Mount Airy, so that,
Mm.
you see these places and then the characters were based on people in real life, so it's such a neat place.
Okay, so there's also the Carl Sandburg Historic Site, which is part of our
Mhm.
National Park Service. And, okay, I'm going to have to bring this up. Walk on the Wild Side at the Museum of the Bizarre.
I know,
I'm
right?
all in. I know it's weird.
Better. Yeah,
Yes.
the more the
Yes.
better for me. Like, there are a million things in Wilmington to do, but definitely add that to your list. It's such a yeah, it's the weirder the better for me.
Okay, so you under your shopping section, which
Mhm.
antiques galore everywhere, bookshops, I think it's High Point you had it. This is a site, Nancy and I keep wanting to go because we're one of those weird roadside attraction people. Isn't there the giant like dresser drawer things in High
Yeah,
Point? Like this is like
yeah,
a furniture capital or
yeah, furniture capital of the world, and I
of the
actually
world.
yeah, and I guess I sent a ton of pictures in for this book, and I actually did have a photo of me beside the giant dress chest of drawers. But I don't think it made the book, so I'll have to post it at some time because it's a sight to behold. It's really ginormous, but yeah, it is. If you need any kind of furniture, like that's been the epicenter of American furniture since, gosh, probably the late 19th century. So yeah, you've got twice a year they have the High Point Market, and it's I think the largest home furnishings industry trade show in the world. So
Wow.
it's kind of a big deal. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
The other thing too is I found out that North Carolina in some areas, I mean, we were in Rougemont, I think, a little farming community for a while,
Mhm.
hanging out on farms. Anyway,
Nice.
yeah, pet sitting on farms, taking care of
Oh,
chickens
that sounds
and all kinds of.
amazing.
And what I heard is I have a friend from North Carolina. She says, Lisa, I want you to know that you are the I have to tell you, your area, like there's just farms, right? And it's just
Mhm.
gorgeous, right?
Mm.
Gorgeous. And there was a river and then the fall colors came in. I was like, yeah, this is like incredible. And she said, Lisa, you're really close to where America's brooms are made, like actual brooms, like what you sweep with, is a North Carolina thing. And I had no idea that North Carolina is known for brooms, but it is. So brooms and furniture, why not? They go hand in hand. So
Right,
I'm
yeah.
just saying, you need to do the secret book now. I'm urging you for more. You can't just do two, you know. Three is a good number, but then you have to go to five, right?
Yeah. It's gotta be an odd number, right? Yeah, 3 or 5.
All right. So is there something you have not done yet in North Carolina that is on your bucket list to do?
Yes, actually, and this sounds you're gonna laugh. I've been trying to get here forever, and I was like, well, even though I technically and that's the thing too. It's like there are some places I've it's been on my list, but I haven't been able to go. But, I have so many friends and I've been in the industry for so long,
Yeah.
I a lot of times I would
Triple
have
A,
to
everybody.
yeah, I'd
Yeah.
be like,
I know
what would be
everything
your
over there.
recommendation? But the Museum of the House Cat in Silva, North Carolina is where I need to go soon. It's the only I think one of only 2 museums in the world dedicated to house cats.
In.
And yeah,
You
and
pets it, we're
I
in.
know. Well, then let's go.
Okay, I'll go
Yeah.
with you. Nancy will go with you. I think even Steve and Karen, they love cats too. We'll all go to the cat museum. Do they have live cats there, do you think?
It was created the gentleman who created it, he has since passed, but it was to fund the cat rescue center that he had. What the American they have all of these artifacts and literature for the house cat. So you get the history, but then you've got all of the other aspects of the cats. Like, yeah, it's
Men.
Harold Sims was his
I
name.
wonder if they have anything about Ernest Hemingway's cats, the nine-toed cats. And you can see that in the Keys,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Mhm.
his
Yeah,
museum
those
there.
cats are
But
pretty
but
cool.
I wonder if they have like something recognizing him and his nine-toed inbred nine-toed cat.
Yeah.
It would be,
Good.
I don't know. But anyway, we'll see you when we get to North Carolina. Let's all go play with the cat. We'll
Let's
go to the
do
cat
it.
house. Let's go to the cat house. That's what we'll call it. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Kristy Tolley back on the show. Find her on Instagram and Facebook. The book is 100 Things to Do in North Carolina Before You Die, published by Reedy Press. And of course, you can get it online anywhere. Go to bookstores locally in North Carolina. If they don't have it, say y'all, like, come on now. Holiday
You need
season
this
is
book.
here.
Yeah.
Support your own, state. And yeah, every gift shop, every bookshop in the state should have it. And neighboring states, just, I know that's a little push, but maybe the visitor centers and
Hey,
stuff
they
too.
have,
But
yeah.
I think everybody should. And, just saying, but thank you so much. It's been so much fun.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much, Lisa. I love being here. And anytime I'll be here.
Thank you for listening to Big Blend Radio's Vacation Station Travel and Leisure Show, brought to you by Big Blend Magazines. Keep up with us at bigblendradio.com or blendradioandtv.com. Happy travels!